Peace and Black Power, brothers and sisters. This is the Prince of Pan Africanism, Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Papa Podcast, episode number 18. The offer to purchase the Frederick Douglass High School of the FDMG Academy. About a week or so now, I received a phone call from a white realtor inquiring about the ability to purchase the entire Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy campus. His interest was for all 4 buildings. I informed him that renovations on the Marcus Garvey Elementary School and Gymnasium, the small school, had already began, and in no way, shape, or form would we be interested in selling that. I also informed him that the chances of being able to purchase the Frederick Douglass High School were also slim to none, but not impossible. I said I would share the idea with my school team, but I am not sure that they would be willing to entertain a purchase at this time. So I basically communicated to him that there was a 99% chance that you would not be able to purchase the building, but that I would be willing to pass along the purchase offer for the high school only to my school team. I have not heard back from him since. I did not get his name, and I should have, but I was moving so quickly and didn't anticipate the call. I saw a 302 area code, which is Wilmington, and I answered the phone thinking it was someone who I was in communication with regarding offering bids to get the work done inside the school. I thought it was a contractor or maybe a local supporter. I definitely did not imagine it being someone who wanted to buy the school. I must say that I believe there is a chance that that person was not a realtor. I must say that that person could have been FBI, could have been Homeland Security, could have been Wilmington City government, Delaware state government. We understand how the alphabet boys play. That could have simply been a first contact from a hostile or adversarial party or interest. With that being said, we're going to assume for the rest of this conversation that, in fact, it was a realtor. He did say that he represented a medical company who was interested in using the school for some sort of medical purpose. I believe when I think of a Black inner city community, which is where the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy is located, that is what the city of Wilmington is, overwhelmingly American African, low-income community where the school is. Anyway, maybe not the whole city, but where the school is. When I hear the word medical in a underserved Black community, I think of halfway house. I think of treatment center. I think of some sort of drug clinic. That's what I think of. And to that regard, I don't believe that that would be in the best interest of our children to necessarily be across the street from a center that is serving at-risk adult populations. I don't think that's in the best interest of our children. In addition to that, going to the rules of white supremacy that I teach, as you all know, the second rule of racism is that white people do not share power with black people. White people do not share power. They don't believe in only having a piece of your operation. They want the whole operation. So I'm saying that to say that if we were to sell the school in keeping with the philosophy of racism, sooner or later, they would seek to sabotage the school operation in some way, shape, form, or fashion so they could ultimately have that building as well. Okay? So that's the greater concern. And that is the historic experience that black people have had with Europeans when it comes to territory. We see how they took America, originally coming in as friends. We see how they took Africa, originally coming in as friends. We see how they took the Caribbean islands, originally coming in as friends. We see how they took Australia, originally coming in as friends. We see how they took Central and South America, originally coming in as friends. Even when we look at gentrification today, they come into the black community posing as friends. We're going to open up a charter school for your children, not letting you know that this charter school is only a pretext to create the atmosphere for the white return and takeover of the black community. So understanding that, it would be a risk to sell the school, understanding that white people don't share power and will sooner or later look to take over the entire campus. Sooner or later would look to take over the entire campus. With that being said, we have to entertain all options if in fact a offer do comes our way. Now, let me say this right from the beginning. I am the last person on earth, the absolutely last African in the world who wants to sell that high school. Yes, we are renovating the Marcus Garvey Elementary School, but that's only because we cannot afford to renovate the Frederick Douglass High School at this time. But the Frederick Douglass High School, without question, is the grand prize on that campus. It is that building that will provide us with all the space we need to host any kind of conference we want. That large gymnasium will give us the opportunity to do music programs, any type of program, sporting programs, any type of conference, vendor market. You add that to the 16 or so classrooms in there, the cafeteria, the greenery around the school, those big, beautiful trees. That school building, the FD building, that's why we bought the school in the first place. And from a psychological standpoint, not even looking at the economics and politics of it, but from a psychological standpoint, it would hurt my heart to come to work every day to the Frederick Douglass Elementary School and have to see white folks owning and operating what should have been our high school. I don't know if I could ever overcome that. I don't know if I would ever be able to get used to that every day, coming outside the school and just seeing what was ours being operated by outsiders. And then once our population begins to grow, which it will, where do we expand to? Where do we expand to? We have 10 classrooms. After 2-3 years, we're going to max that out. Where do we expand to? We could probably get the roof ripped off the top and get a second floor added, but how much is that going to cost and how long is it going to take the people to give us the money to do that? Because in keeping with our revolutionary Pan African nationalist platform, we do not take funding from non-African sources, including government. So how long would that take? And while that building is being renovated, where will our children be educated? it would not be in our best interest to sell that school. Psychologically, economically, operationally, it would not be good. With all that being said, with all that being said, with all that being said, we still have to face reality. We still have to face reality. And the reality of the situation is, it's taken our people from the spring of 2014, when we first started receiving donations through PayPal, which were frozen in less than a year's time due to hate. Due to hate. So the hate is as old as the fundraiser itself. I've been saying 5 years. I've been counting from the Kim Ringworm COINTELPRO conspiracy, but actually it didn't begin in the spring of 2015. It began in the spring of 2014. The PayPal was frozen before the COINTELPRO conspiracy. It was frozen before that. But through the will of God, working through our ancestors, we were able to unfreeze the PayPal account a few months ago. All of the money donated is still there, and we can access it whenever we want, which has been a blessing. So we have it all there. Because as you all know, people were making the case that I lost all those donations, or he spent those donations. Those donations were not touched. Well, let me take that back. $10 of the PayPal money was touched. And the $10 of the PayPal money was not spent. It was transferred. It was transferred from the FDMG PayPal account to the FDMG bank account. Why did I transfer $10 from the FDMG PayPal account to the FDMG bank account? To make sure the account was reactivated once I received notification from PayPal that it was no longer frozen, that the block was off. So I sent $10 to make sure when it's time to pay these contractors and we have to transfer over tens of thousands of dollars, that money would be there. That money would be there. So, getting back to this FDMG situation, we started raising money in the spring of 2014 to the spring of 2020. That's 6 years. But let's go to the spring of 2019. That's 5 years. We bought the school just under 5 years of fundraising. We bought the school February 7th of 2019. February 7th of 2019. 1 week shy of the Honorable Frederick Douglass's 201st solar return. That's when we bought the school, just shy of 5 years. So it took us 5 years to purchase the school, right? And hopefully, if we get the renovations on the small school done by the new year or around the new year, okay, let's say it's completely done by spring, although we want it before that. But if we keep it to spring, that'll take us 2014 to 2021. So that would be 7 years just to get the small school. That's not even the whole campus, just to get the small school. What am I saying, brothers and sisters? I'm saying, as much as I do not want to sell the Frederick Douglass High School, as beautiful and luxurious as it is with all the opportunities that it presents, we have to be realistic. We have to be realistic. How long is it going to take us to raise the money to renovate it? How long? We are already 6 years in now, and we don't have an operating school, but we have been making steady progress towards it. I'm not going to blame the community for the past year, because the past year was all about the blueprints. Y'all remember that. For the past year, it was all about finding those blueprints, upgrading those blueprints, which we had to pay $25,000 to a black engineer to do. Okay. And we finally got those plans done a few months ago. So to be honest with you, one of these years cannot be blamed on our community. It has to be blamed on the fact that when we bought the school, and we knew this, the owner did not have the original plans. He told me that. I knew that. But we could not purchase a school just because we didn't have the plans, right? So we were waiting and looking and looking. Remember now, I'm not in the construction field. So I'm learning all this stuff as a crash course, and it has been beneficial. I am really learning construction, not how to do it, but how to process. The process of construction, not the art. I don't know how to build something or repair something, but I'm learning the process of it because no one's there to walk me through it. Even the people who I thought would walk me through it, they're not. Most people are there to make money off of us. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have to say this. I am so disappointed in our community in that nobody's offering me a deal on these renovations. Now, a couple of brothers are trying to work with me a little, but you would think for a school that's going to be for black children where I'm not making a penny off it and we need this in crisis, like you would think that it would be the cost of repair plus something. The cost of repair plus something. But no, they're charging me full price. And even when I get a discount, it's, it ain't much. So, I'm a little disappointed because so many people before we bought the school kept saying and promising that once he get a school, I'm coming to help for free. Once he get a school, I'm going to do the electric for free. Once he get a school, I'm going to do the HVAC for free. Once he do the school, I'm going to do the carpentry for free. Once he do the school, I'm going to do the plumbing for free. That was all bogus lies. That was all bogus lies. Nobody has stepped up to do a damn thing for free. Nobody has stepped up to do anything involving building renovation for free. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. And some of the ones who have suggested they will don't live nowhere near the school, are not licensed in Delaware or Wilmington, although that's an easy license to get. I want y'all to know this. So if it's taken us 5 years to buy the school, now we're at 6 right now, little past 6, because we began the fundraiser, I believe, in April of 14. So April of 20 was 6 years. May, June, July, August, September, October. We are 6.5 years into the fundraiser now, 6.6. Hopefully we'll get the school done by next spring. That'll be November, December, January, February, March, April. We will be at 7 years exactly if the school is renovated by April of 2021. That will be 7 years. We'll have the small school. How long will it take us to get the money to rehab the high school? How long will it take us to get the money to rehab the high school? That is the question that must be answered by all of those, including myself, who do not want to sell. Because I do not want to sell, but I have to be realistic. It's taken you 7 years to get the small school up and running. If it is so by April, and I don't see why it's not, assuming you all continue to donate, assuming most of you are able to sign up for the Loyal Donors Club by being a bronze member, $50 a month, or a silver member, $100 a month, or a gold member, $250 a month, or a platinum member, $500 a month, or a diamond member, $1,000 a month. For those of you who don't know, yesterday I announced during a Facebook, Instagram live feed, I announced the new Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy Loyal Donors Club. It launched yesterday. I'm hoping many of you would be willing to sign up for it. Again, automatic donations from your account to our account by way of PayPal. You don't have to have PayPal to sign up. Your credit card is fine. If you need the link to sign up to be in the Loyal Donors Club, please email me or text me. 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858. You can use the Dr. Umar Johnson at iCloud, or you can use the Dr. Umar Johnson at Yahoo. Either one is fine if you would like to email me for the links. I'm going to send you all 5 links, and you choose which level you want to come in on. If you choose to sign up for the Loyal Donors Club, make sure you click the box that says I want to make this a monthly donation. If you don't click the box that offers you to make it a monthly donation, then you are not in the Loyal Donors Club. The club is for those who are making the regular contribution. The club is for those who are making the regular contribution. Also, the Loyal Donors Club has a WhatsApp group. The Loyal Donor Club has a WhatsApp group. So in addition to being in the Dr. Papa Podcast WhatsApp group, you will also be added to the exclusive Loyal Donors Club WhatsApp group. In order to do that, you need to screenshot your initial subscription receipt. You need to screenshot your initial subscription receipt to the Loyal Donors Club and text that to Dr. Umar in WhatsApp. Send me a private direct message through WhatsApp with your Loyal Donors Club receipt, and I will add you to that group. And I will add you to the Loyal Donors Club group. This group will get all of the information that the haters want to get. Okay? So you will know about renovations. You will know when certain things have been concluded. You will know about certifications, licenses, permits. You will know about upcoming events, activities. There will be conference calls with the Loyal Donors Club, so you can ask me questions about what we're doing and how we're doing it. Okay, there will also be private Loyal Donors Club member events. Private Loyal Donors Club member events only. Only people who can attend are members of the Loyal Donors Club. And once the school opens, there will always be a special reception area for the loyal donors. Okay. You will have a special name tag, a special armband, so people will know that you are one of the loyal donors, those who have decided to sacrifice by giving regularly and consistently and automatically. Those who have decided to sacrifice by giving regularly, consistently, and automatically. Okay? Your spots will be reserved at events. You will be the first in. You will get all of the perks that are available at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy by being a loyal donor. But for those of you who cannot afford to give an automatic donation of $50, $100, $250, $500, or $1,000 a month, please continue to donate regularly. We need it. Hit your Cash App, $FDMG School. We need it. Hit your PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. We need it. Mail in your checks or money order payable to the FDMG Academy. P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. We need it, brothers and sisters. We need it. Random donors are still part of the donor family. Random donors are still part of the donor family. It's just that the loyal donors are given special treatment and a special designee by going the extra mile. With that being said, I don't want to sell the school, but at the same time, I do have to be realistic. Now, if we look at the other side of this equation, so we talked about why we don't want to sell. We talked about why we don't want to sell. What would be the benefit of selling? We know the detriments of selling, the risk of selling, but what would be the benefits of selling? Well, one benefit, the most obvious benefit, really the only reason we would consider doing it in the first place. The only reason we would consider doing it in the first place is that it would alleviate the financial strain of completing the renovations on the Honorable Frederick Douglass Elementary School and the Prophet Nat Turner Gymnasium. The small school and small gym would be renovated with no problem. with no problem. In addition to that, it would leave us money where I would argue we could comfortably operate the school for at least 2 years. That's not including the tuitions and donations that will come from the students once they enroll, as well as from the community once they see us up and running. So even without that, we would have enough money to comfortably operate the school for 2 years. So your small school and gym gets renovated. You have 2 years of operating expense, which is all we're going to need before we're able to operate based off of the income from the school. Because remember now, in addition to tuition, we're going to have a before care and an aftercare program. We also plan to operate a daycare at some point. Okay, so once we're up and running, the revenue will be coming in. But you know, with a small business, any small business, those of you who are small business owners, you usually have to plan for the first 3 to 5 years. We will be okay because we are going to start with only 4 to 6 classrooms to begin with. We're going to start with only 4 to 6 classrooms to begin with, no more than 100 to 120 students. Small operation, grow small. Some people are under the assumption I'm going to start with 500 kids. No way. No way. In fact, let's see what the capacity would be. 10 classrooms, 30 apiece. We'll probably get a building occupancy of somewhere between 300 and 500, because those classrooms can hold more than 30 people. They are large classrooms, but for the effectiveness of our educational program, we're looking at only 20 students per class. And an idea just came to me while I'm speaking to you guys. Because those classrooms are so large. There is a chance that we could make them smaller if we needed to. I just thought of that. We could re-outfit the school, and I believe that instead of 10 classrooms, we could easily have 15 to 20 in that small school because the classrooms are so large. If we did have to sell, we would look to do that. If we did have to sell, we would use some of that fund to re-outfit the building, strip the walls, reduce the classroom size so we can add more classrooms. We would look to do that. We may not make all the classrooms smaller, but maybe 5. So we could go from 10 to 15 classrooms easily. That's just something to keep in the back of your mind. But I don't want to sell. But if we did sell, as I said, renovations will be completed without a problem. Operation expenses for the first 2 years without a problem. And we would still have enough money to buy a school of the same size in another city. So then the question becomes, what is better? What is more advantageous for the FDMG independent school movement? Is it more advantageous to have a nice, large campus in one place? Or is it more advantageous to have 2 small schools in 2 different places? Is it more advantageous to have one nice, large, beautiful campus in one place? Or is it more advantageous to split that in 2 and have 2 smaller campuses in 2 different cities? That is the question that you must ask yourself. That is the question that you must ask yourself. That is the question that you must ask yourself. Now, with that being said, brothers and sisters, I want to come back to why I believe we do not need to sell. I want to come back to why I believe we do not need to sell. Because I believe before we can entertain selling, this is my official position. My official position is I don't want to sell. Okay, that's my official position. My contingency position is even if we consider selling, I don't believe we can do that. There can be no true consideration of selling the property until we first see how the community and the donors respond to the operation of the small school. In other words, once people see that we succeeded in the renovation of the Garvey School, it is up and running. We have children inside of it. Once people see that, will they begin to give more? Will we get wealthier donors? Will we be able to raise more money now that we have a building in which we can host events and charge to bring in more money? In other words, it might be very short-sighted and premature for us to say, let's sell now, when we don't know what the community's reaction is going to be after the small school is renovated and is now being operated. I think we have to wait until the small school has been renovated and is now being operated. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. We have to wait until the small school has been renovated and operated, which could be as soon as next fall. Which could be as soon as next fall. If these buildings get completed around the new year, let's say February, March, April, May, June, that gives us 5 months. It's still tight. It is still a tight schedule, but there's a strong chance we can be up and running with class beginning on or around 8/21/21. 8/21/21. August the 21st of 2021. We could be up and running. Worst case scenario, and we have to delay it 1 year, which I'm perfectly fine with. 8/21/22, that's the worst case scenario. That's the last. So we're looking at starting between next summer or the summer after. And I believe we have to see the reaction of the community, because what's going to happen is we're not going to have enough space for all the children whose parents want to enroll them. We only have 10 classrooms, and I don't plan on operating all 10. Why don't I plan on operating all 10? Because we're going to need classroom space to move up the students to the new grade level and bring in a new class. Let me give you an example. Let's say we operate 6 classes to start, and I'm not saying we will, but let's say we operate 6 classrooms to start. Let's say we have 2 4th grade, 2 3rd grade, 2 2nd grade. Well, guess what? Those 4th graders have to move up a grade. And then we're going to bring in new 2nd graders when the 2nd graders go up to the 3rd grade. So in essence, you're going to add 2 new classrooms for your new grade level. In other words, your 2nd through 4th, your first year. Now your 2nd through 5th, your 2nd year. Now your 2nd through 6th, your 3rd year, if you follow where I'm coming from. Because of that, brothers and sisters, because of that, we cannot operate with all classrooms filled, because there's no room for growth unless you plan to not add any additional students. In other words, if we said 2 4th, 2 3rd, 2 2nd, 2 1st, 2 kindergarten. So you have 2 classrooms for every level from K through 5, right? So next year, when the 5th graders go to 6th grade, we have no extra classroom space. You know what that means? That means that we could not bring new students into the school. The students who start would be the only students who would stay. There would be no additions because there's no additional classroom space. So when the fifth graders go to sixth grade, they stay right there. When the fourth graders go to fifth grade, they stay right there. When the third graders go to fourth grade, they stay right there. When the second graders go to third grade, they stay right there. When the first graders go to second grade, they stay right there. When the kindergartners go to first grade, they stay right there. In other words, there would be no ability to enroll any new students because we have already maxed out our building occupancy. We have already maxed out our classrooms. So if we've already maxed out our classroom space, if we've already maxed out our classroom space, we can't bring in any new students. I want y'all to understand that. So then the question becomes, does that look good for the image of the school? I mean, maybe it's not a problem. Maybe you say, listen, we got 100 kids, 20, 40, 60, 80. Actually, that's more than 100. Excuse me. 20, 40, 60, 80. 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, right? 10 classrooms times 20 is 200. You take that up to 25, you get what? You get 25 is 100, another 25 is 100. You get 250 kids. No matter how you slice it up, you're not bringing in any new students. So then does it look good that no new students will be able to join the school until the high school is renovated? Now you could take this two ways, and I would love to get your feedback on this. I would love to get your feedback on this. Of course, the final decision rests with me, but I love to hear people's ideas because no one person can have all the ideas, right? Do you think it would be to our benefit to max out the classrooms, making it impossible for any new students to join the school as a way to force the community to raise more money and get the high school renovated? Will that work or will that not work? Let me say it again. We max out the school. We make it clear these 200 to 250 students are all we can take because we have no room to grow. We have no additional classrooms. In order for us to take more students, we have to raise money and move across the street. Y'all have to get the high school renovated, or the large building renovated rather, okay? So we can then bring in more students. If we did that, if we maxed out the elementary school and made it clear there is no room to add any more students until y'all raise the money to get the high school operating, will that be sufficient motivation for the community, or will they just give up? Will they say no? I would love to get your feedback on that, because if you really want your child to come to this school and there's no more room, unless we get the other school renovated, does that force the community to raise more money? I would like to get your feedback on that. Or do they just say to hell with it? I donated, no room for my kid. I'm not donating no more. I'm tired of this. Because you do have to keep in mind, our people are selfish. The fact that some kids are benefiting means nothing to a lot of black people. Their child has to benefit. We have to keep that in mind. We are not a people that believe in a greater good. I don't care how much we talk about it. I don't care how much we preach it. Watch how black people behave. We are not a people who believe in the greater good. That has been over for at least 50, 60 years. We do not believe in the greater good. We don't. Look at police genocide. Most of us don't do anything about it until the police kill somebody we love. And when the police kill somebody we love, now we want to get active. But when the police were killing everybody else's kids, it was no big deal to us. We are not a people that believes in the greater good. But from a strategic standpoint, I would like to know what you guys think about that. You have to keep in mind, there will be parents who will be relocating to Delaware for their child to go to the school, right? I would hope they would wait until they know for certain if the child gets admitted. But even if their child doesn't get admitted to the school, Wilmington is going to be the new Black Wall Street. I really anticipate that my presence in this school is going to transform that community into an example for all of Black America. I absolutely believe that. I have some other plans that I cannot mention right now because they are so powerful, so potent. I cannot share them at all because I'm quite certain that a few people on the podcast are not supporters. I'm quite certain that at least a few people on the podcast are not supporters. Okay? So some of those plans I got to keep to myself, but I have some, oh my goodness, there is a lot that can be done in Wilmington, a lot. So even if your child can't go to the school, the argument can still be made. My family is better off here where the Black conscious action is. Because once that school is open, that's the conscious capital. That's the conscious capital. Much respect to New York, Chicago, DC, LA, Atlanta. Once we get open, we will be the conscious capital, at least conscious progressive capital. I mean, boots on the ground, work being done. Now, intellectual masturbation, that capital may still be with other cities. But in terms of actual work, nation building, Black conscious nation building, hands down, once the school is done, Wilmington is the capital of that. Hands down, once the school is done, Wilmington is the capital of that. So brothers and sisters, do you think if we max the school out and say, listen, you want your child to go here? No problem. You see that school sitting right there? You see that big, beautiful building right there? It got 16 classrooms in it. It has, and not to mention, we can split those classrooms down as well. We could ultimately have about 20 to 30 classes in that high school. That's how big it is, brothers and sisters. For those of you who have been there, you saw how wide the hallways were. You saw how wide the hallways were. My goodness, you could have a meeting in the hallway. That high school is the Taj Mahal. It is the Luxor. It is the Giza complex of the campus, which is why I don't want to give it up, which is why I believe once we're up and running with the small school, we might be able to attract better donors. Not better donors, wealthier donors, wealthier, those who can give a little more. Or are you of the opinion, Dr. Umar, it sounds good, and I would like to believe that once the small school is up and people see how good of a job it's doing, I would like to believe that they would donate again for the high school. But Doc, that could work against you too. Isn't it also possible that once the small school is up and running and parents are now paying tuition and the school is thriving, couldn't people also say he now has money coming in? He can fix up the small school on his own, in essence, leaving you out there by yourself to do this job alone all over again? Isn't it possible, Dr. Umar, that once the small school is up and running, people stop donating because they say he's getting tuition, $500 a month or so per child? That should be enough money for him to save and renovate the building on his own. Is it possible they will do that too? Is it possible that they will do that as well? So brothers and sisters, we have to think about that. Brothers and sisters, we have to think about that. We can't read the future. No one can. All we can do is make the best decisions we can based on the past and based on our plans. The best thing we can do is make a good decision based on what we know about Black psychology, Black economics, our value for Black education, and the support and love that Dr. Umar gets, which is tremendous. I get a lot of love and support. There's not many people who can raise nearly $1 million. We have not passed $1 million yet. I know people keep saying, oh, he's collected $1 million. No, we haven't. We have. I will let you know when that happens. When we have received a total donations, total brothers and sisters, from the first day of the fundraiser, when I took a donation in St. Louis, Missouri in April to pay the attorney to offer a bid for St. Paul's College. I'm including all that. From that first donation from the St. Louis, Missouri community to the last donation that's in the P.O. box today, add that all up, okay? And we have not crossed $1 million. We have not crossed $1 million, okay? So we haven't raised $1 million in 6 years, which I'm still happy though. I'm still happy. I believe we're at about 850,000, which basically means we raised another 100,000 since we bought the school. So we raised about $100,000 since February of 2019 to February of 2020, March, April, May, June, July, August. So we raised another $100,000 in the last 18 months. Not bad. Not bad, right? But if you compare it to the fact that white folks raised about, $4 million in a week for Officer Darren Wilson when he murdered our brother Michael Brown near St. Louis, okay? They raised about $4 million in a week. In a week. And he wasn't alone. For most of the officers that faced some sort of scrutiny for murdering black folk, their GoFundMes, their crowdfundings, I don't think no officer raised less than $1 million in a week. When you look at it from that perspective, the fact that we haven't even crossed 1 million after 6.5 years, 6.5 years, we haven't even broke $1 million. It's not acceptable. Even with all the hating and all the sabotaging, it's not acceptable. But I'm still grateful though. Because when I look across the conscious community and I look across Black America, I mean, yes, we're the only ones doing what we're doing the way we're doing it. We're the only ones doing what we're doing the way we're doing it. You know, I feel thankful and blessed because for those people who care, they still got us in a position to buy those schools, brothers and sisters. So although I can compare it to what white folks do for their own, I'm not going to really do that. I'll do that to motivate other black folks to start donating, but I'm not going to do that as a regular practice because I am very proud. I am very, 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 very proud that black people care enough about our children and have enough faith and confidence in Dr. Umar and have enough faith and confidence in Dr. Umar to have raised $850,000. To have raised $850,000. I am very, very, very thankful about that. Very thankful about that. Because they did not have to do that. So getting back to the school. If we could manage to hold on to this entire 4-building campus, physically, when you look at the school, it looks like 3, but the Marcus Garvey Elementary School is physically attached to, but not connected with the building on the corner. Many of y'all saw me finally get into the building on the corner where I said it was the first time I ever been in there because we never got the locks off. Remember that? Well, that is the 4th building. We salute the ancestors. We salute. Of course, I need donations. Cash.me/FDMG school. Cash.me/FDMG school. I think it's dead. Cash.me/Ashe. FDMG school, brothers and sisters. You see the truck behind me? We getting some stuff done already. You got the locksmith. Oh, he got in the building. The locksmith got in the building, y'all. Let's go check this out. He got in the building. Uh-oh. I didn't see that. He got in. We got in there. Let me see what it's looking like in here. I'm on live right now.
A bunch of hazardous waste.
This is a nice square room, though. So what we got in here? Paint? What's in these boxes?
Filters.
This is the first time I've been in this room at the FDMG Academy. How much of this do I need to keep?
I'm gonna go through it and see what we need.
Okay, so you're gonna go through it. Okay.
Right now, I'm not gonna go through it today.
Okay. So that room does not connect to this room.
Right.
And what's up here?
That's what we. Remember we talked about. There's desks.
So how tall is the room above us? Is it as tall as the room we're in? So this is a 2-story.
Yeah.
But the only way you get to that room is through there, and you got to climb.
Stairway.
Do you think they probably had steps there?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Kev, you're gonna go through it and let us know what we can use. All right.
You can't use that no more. That's done.
What, the paint?
The paint's done.
The paint is done?
Paint's had to this way. Everybody leaves it behind.
Okay, I see a Stairmaster over there. Let me find out that's still working. I can get the gut down.
I'll pour it out.
Okay, okay.
I'll pour it out.
This is a nice room, though. I like this. This might be our ancestral shrine.
But guess what?
This might be the shrine.
We got some rollers.
We got some rollers, but you're going to go through the whole thing.
I got to figure out what we can use for filters. Are
Right.
they filters or they just jump?
Okay. We got a room open that we never saw before. I'm going to show it to you. Let me peep in here one time. So this is the room that I never been in before. First time. We finally in here. FDMG. So this is a room we never been in before. This might be the ancestral shrine. It might be my temporary office while the renovations is kicking off, brothers and sisters. It's time. It's time to get the Garvey building ready. It's time. Excuse me, that pop. All right.
Y'all got a flashlight?
If we could manage to hold on to this entire 4-building campus, physically, when you look at the school, it looks like 3, but the Marcus Garvey Elementary School is physically attached to, but not connected with the building on the corner. Many of y'all saw me finally get into the building on the corner where I said it was the first time I ever been in there because we never got the locks off. Remember that? Well, that is the 4th building, which is small and cute. But what I like about it, it has 3 rooms in it. It has 3 different rooms in it. And I can foresee a future where that becomes a student-run cafe. Like, I want the students to be able to operate a business on the campus that earns them some money and earns money for the school. And I can see that being re-outfitted. I could see that being re-outfitted as some sort of cafe. And remember, we have the grass on the side. So I can see a couple tables where you can sit out there and eat. In the inside, maybe, we can sell some healthy snacks and maybe it'll be like a smoothie bar, like a juice bar. Maybe that'll be a FDMG juice bar because it's not a lot of space, but it's enough. And we got 3 different levels. One level could be a bookstore. One level could be the juice bar. Another level could be where you sit and relax. That's what I see with that 4th building. It's physically connected to the Marcus Garvey School. Okay, but it's not, you cannot get inside that building from the elementary school. Okay, let me show y'all what we talking about. We are inside of the future FDMG Black Consciousness Cafe, Bookstore, and Lounge. Y'all ready? Y'all see that, brothers and sisters? This is one room of 3 rooms. That's the second room up there. We got to get a ladder. That's the second room up there. So this is one room. That's 2 rooms. Okay, we're going to get some steps up there. Okay, put a few more windows. All right. It's going to be lovely. This is the 3rd room. We're going to get new doors and all that. It's going to be lovely.
Okay. Then we're going to clean all this out. This is going to be the third room. We're going to clean all this out. This is going to be the third room. We're going to clean all this out, and that's going to be the third room. So we got 3 rooms. And what I might do is I might have the building expanded. What do y'all think, brothers and sisters? We got all this grass. We got all this grass. So I might have the building expanded. Bring it all the way to the curb. Bring the building all the way to right here. Bring it all from the wall. In other words, we got about what? 10 more feet. We got 10 more feet. We can bring that building all the way out. We could bring that building all the way out so we have more room. So we have more room for the cafe, the bookstore, and the lounge, brothers and sisters. That's what we're doing.
And you can't get inside the elementary school from that building. And from what the contractors told me, that building was built separately. They added that building onto the high school. It's a separate building, but they attached it. It's a separate building, but they attached it. And I can only see good, but that and the small gym are going to come in handy so much. The small gym and that corner building is going. If we sold the school, we wouldn't be in bad shape. If we sold the high school, we wouldn't be in bad shape, but we would not be in as good of a shape that we would be if we could keep it and renovate it. Hands down. You get that high school and that, and that elementary school together, you get both of them together. Oh my goodness. Oh, do you realize we could host any conference? We could let the fraternities know. We can let the churches know. We can let the NAACP know. We can let the Urban League know. There's no need for you to be giving money to any white hotel. Well, they would still have to sleep at the hotel, but they don't have to pay for no conference at the hotel. Come and do your conference here. Give us that money. We got 16 classrooms over here, 10 over here. That's 26, not including the cafeterias, not including the gyms. Come on, brothers and sisters. If we hold on to both of them, we have an entire conference center. Hands down, lunchroom included, entire conference center. That's why I want to hold on to it, because I see the whole campus as a money maker. When people need conferences, that is a money maker. We can almost have a conference, and we would block this out. Maybe 2 conferences a month. Even if you say just do one conference a month, that's 12 conferences a year, depending on how much we charge for that, that you easily looking at, I don't know, $75,000 a year on up just in conference money alone. Just in conference money alone, brothers and sisters. So that's why keeping the whole conference, keeping the whole campus would be advantageous to us. But I want to know what you think. We have not yet received an offer. We have not yet received an offer. We have not yet received an offer, but we do want to make you clear that, make you understand that Wilmington, Delaware is in the initial stages of being gentrified. Wilmington, Delaware is in the initial stages of being gentrified. Wilmington, Delaware is in the initial stages of being gentrified. And to be honest with you, the reason I think they're having a tough time gentrifying the community where we are located, I could be wrong, but the reason I think they're having a tough time gentrifying the community where our school is located is because Delaware is a small state. Delaware is a very small state. Wilmington is a border city. Listen to me well, brothers and sisters. Delaware is a very small state, and Wilmington is a border city. It borders Pennsylvania. In other words, where do you push those black families to if you want to take back that section of Wilmington? Where do you send them? Where do they go? Where do they go? You can't push them into Pennsylvania. That's another state. See, when they gentrified North Philly, they pushed everybody to Southwest Philly. When they gentrified Southwest Philly, they could push people into Derby and Chester and what have you, but you're still in the same state. It's a state. Gentrification is a state by state operation. There is no more state to send them to. What, you're going to put them in an all white community somewhere in Delaware? It ain't going to work. So the problem with gentrifying Wilmington, especially our neighborhood, is it's the borderline of the state of Delaware. So they're going to have to come up with something very, very strategic in order to move those black folks, because there's nowhere else to push them to. You're at the state border. Wilmington is the state border of Delaware. Where are you going to send them? So, brothers and sisters, I'm going to wrap up by saying we plan to fight for that school. We plan to hold that school. I don't think we can consider selling that school until we see what the reaction will be once we get the Garvey Elementary School up and running, once the small gym is functional, once there's activity on the campus. Once there's activity on the campus, we can then be in a better position to project how we might fare without selling the school. And I'm optimistic. I know some folks might say, Doc, you get that small school up, they still going to leave you because now they're going to say you got enough money to fix this big school on your own. They might say that. And if it comes to that, we just have to do what? Generate enough programs on a regular basis that cost money to raise that money. I don't think it's difficult. That small gym, I don't think it's difficult. We can have dances in there for children. We can have, programs for women and men. I mean, with that gym and the 10 classrooms, we are still in good shape to do some heavy programming. Pay a couple folks to come and teach on different topics, and then everybody else register to pay, understanding that this is a fundraiser to renovate the high school. I think we can do it. I still think we can do it. I still think we can do it. So this is the Dr. Papa Podcast, Prince of Pan Africanism, episode number 18. To sell or not to sell the Frederick Douglass High School. Peace and Black Power. I will be back shortly with episode 19. Don't forget, go to my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, text me or email me for the links to sign up for the FDMG Loyal Donors Club. To sign up for the FDMG Loyal Donors Club. Brothers and sisters, this is the Prince of Pan Africanism. I love y'all. Continue to support regular donors. Hit your Cash App, $ FDMG School. Hit your PayPal, paypal.me, FDMG Academy. Mail in your donations, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. Let me also remind you all, if you are subscribed to the podcast, which means you're listening to this, because no one should be listening to this who is not subscribed to the podcast. If you're subscribed to the podcast, and you are not in the WhatsApp group, many of you are not in the WhatsApp group. So if you are subscribed to the podcast and you want to be added to the podcast chat, screenshot your September or October podcast subscription receipt. Screenshot your September or October podcast subscription receipt. Screenshot it and text it to me in WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is the same as my regular cell number. My WhatsApp number is the same as my regular cell number, 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. Send that to me and I will add you to the podcast group. And for those of you who will be signing up for the Loyal Donors Club, screenshot me your Loyal Donors Club receipt. Text that to me in WhatsApp so I can add you to the Loyal Donors Club chat, which I have not set up yet. I'm going to set it up by the end of the week. The Loyal Donors Club chat. Okay. And I will be giving you guys will be getting regular updates. Okay. People wanting information on the school. You don't get that unless you're a loyal donor. All these people on YouTube making videos. What he do with this and what he do? If you ain't donating, it's none of your business. If you ain't donating, it's none of your business. But again, brothers and sisters, for those who can't afford it, you're still part of our donor family, and you will still be honored and acknowledged at the grand opening and on the campus. Loyal donors will get a special designee and a special treatment, but all of our donors will be acknowledged, honored, and respected. I want to keep that in mind. And for those donors who donate the most, our most generous donors, okay, because you have some people who've been donating the whole 5 years. You got people who've been donating for 4 years. You got people who've been donating for 3 years. Their total contribution may be greater than some of our loyal donors who are just now joining the family. And they will still get special recognition, not only as a donor, but as one of our most generous donors. But again, Loyal Donor Club has its advantages. Loyal Donor Club has its advantages. Don't forget, I will be in Harlem, New York on Friday night, October 30th, to release Black Parent Advocate, Harlem, New York, at the Allah Temple in Mecca, 2122. I think that's Adam Clayton Powell. You can Google it. The Allah Temple in Mecca. It's the headquarters for the nation of gods and earths, the 5% nation. We will be there Friday night, October 30th, for Dr. Umar's 10-year anniversary, counting from the date I first spoke in Harlem, October 30th, 2010, which basically exploded me onto the international Black consciousness scene. It's been 10 years, and I'm returning to the same borough, same date, same time, Friday, October the 30th, 2020, from 2 to 8. Come and get your books. Books will be $10. Credit card, cash, or cash app. Books will be $10. Credit card, cash, or cash app. The Harlem book release will have a special book. Those books will be embossed, which means the cover will be raised. It's a special collector's edition. So for those of you who want that special collector's edition book, come on out to Harlem, New York City, and get your special Black Parent Advocate New York City 10-year anniversary Black Parent Advocate copy. And then we will be in Atlanta Thursday, November the 19th at the Yoga Skills Comedic Yoga Studio in Atlanta, 2 to 8. It's located on Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard. Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard from 2 to 8 on Thursday, November the 19th. That is my 10-year anniversary for Atlanta. I first spoke in Atlanta, November 19th, 2010. And then we're off to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where I first spoke on December the 10th of 2010. So I will be in Fort Lauderdale on December the 10th of 2020 from 2 until 8. I believe that's a Thursday as well. And we will be at the Black-owned 510 studio. All venues are Black-owned. All venues are Black-owned. Okay? And all book signings are at the same time, 2 to 8. Harlem is a Friday, Atlanta and Fort Lauderdale, I believe, are Thursdays. And let me not forget my 10-year anniversary for going to Nat Turner Land, Virginia. Druryville, Nat Turner Land, Virginia. We will be there November the 11th, 2020 at Nat Turner Land to honor Nat Turner on the day that he was taken from us, hanged, crucified, dismembered, November the 11th, 1831 to November the 11th, 2020. That's 189 years, brothers and sisters. That's 189 years, brothers and sisters. But we not only honor Nat Turner, we honor all of our great ancestors who paid the ultimate price for Black liberation. Toussaint L'Ouverture, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, Dr. King, all of our police genocide victims, Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin, all of them who gave their life to the struggle. Queen Mother Harriet Tubman, who was not assassinated, but died with her boots on, gave her life to the struggle. Marcus Garvey, some say he may have been assassinated, okay, but definitely gave his life to the struggle. We celebrate all the Fannie Lou Hamer, whose birthday is today. Make sure y'all pour out a little liquor, even burn a candle if you choose, to Queen Mother Fannie Lou Hamer, who was born today, October the 6th of 1917. And don't forget, October the 10th. October the 10th is the anniversary, memorial of when the great slave revolt leader Gabriel Prosser of Richmond, Virginia, was hanged at the African burial ground. Those of you who are members of the first ever Ifa Tunde University cohort, some of you went with me there to pour libations at the African African burial ground in Richmond. That's where Gabriel Prosser was hanged after organizing what would have been, up until that time, the largest slave revolt ever planned. So, brothers and sisters, on this day where we honor Queen Mother Fannie Lou Hamer, such a dedicated revolutionary, I bid you all a good day. Hope to see you in Harlem. Hope to see you in Atlanta. Hope to see you at Nat Turner Land. We hope to see you in Fort Lauderdale. If you ordered the book, they're beginning to ship out this week. I'm packing up today, brothers and sisters. We have more pre-orders than I realize. It looks like I have over 200 pre-orders because, as you know, Black Parent Advocate has been on pre-order for 2 years. I will never do that again. I will never do that again because there's so many books I got to get mailed out now. Please be patient, especially those of y'all with the pre-orders. You're getting the book half off. The book is $70. You paid $35, and I'm going to honor your purchase at the original price. You're getting your book for $35. Okay, you're getting it cheaper than even the people who are going to get it at the book signing. So please be patient. You will get your book. They're being shipped out. United States Postal Service priority mail. You will get it. I'm going to ship about 70 off today, another 70 off until we get them all down. Okay, so just be patient with your brother. If you need to reach me, Dr. Umar Johnson at yahoo.com, 215-989-9858. Peace and Black Power.